Optus customers are being warned about an increased risk of identity theft and online scams after the personal information of more than 9 million Australians was compromised in one of the nation's worst ever data breaches. Joining me now live from Optus headquarters in Sydney is CEO Kelly Bayer Rosmarin. Kelly, thanks very much for your time on a busy day. We just had a cyber expert tell us that, simply put, a company of Optus's size should never be suffering an attack of this magnitude because you should have better protection. Do you agree?
I would say that Optus takes the protection of its customer data very seriously. We have strong cybersecurity controls in place. We thwart thousands of attacks every year, every day, and we're devastated that this could occur. But it's a good warning to all organisations that even if you have strong cyber capabilities, dedicated focus and investment in this area, there are sophisticated actors out there. And so we're very upset that this could occur.
So you say sophisticated actors. What can you tell us about this attack in terms of who the perpetrator was and how it came to be that Optus suffered such a significant attack?
What we can say is that we're working very closely with all the authorities and the Australian Federal Police, and this is a criminal investigation. So we're not at liberty to divulge details about how the attack occurred, but it's too early to rule out any scenarios, and we're working closely with those authorities to make sure we get to the bottom of who did this and how they could have done it.
So when you say it's too early to know or rule out scenarios, does that mean it might not have been all that sophisticated? This might have just been a failure on either level of security or procedures within Optus?
We are very confident that this was a sophisticated attack.
Okay, why do you say that though when you then say all options are sort of possible? Why are you so sure it was sophisticated?
What I said is that there are no options we can close off about who perpetrated this attack, whether it's criminal or a nation-state actor. And we're working closely with the authorities to determine that. But we do know this was a sophisticated attack, and we have moved very quickly to shut it down. And now we're moving very quickly to get the message out there to make sure no harm comes to any customers as a result of this unauthorised access of some data.
The big concern for up to 2.8 million customers is the extent of the data, not just names, date of birth, but even passport numbers and driver's licence numbers. Was this data encrypted?
What I can say is that no financial information or passwords were compromised. For the majority of customers, what has been accessed is their name, their email, their phone number. For some, in addition, their date of birth, and then for another smaller subset, it also includes the identification number, which is in most cases driver's license and in some cases passport number. It does not include images of those documents or any further information than that. It's for this reason that we sounded the alarm broadly and went out widely so that all customers can be extra vigilant and watch out for activity that seems abnormal or notifications that they didn't initiate. So hopefully we can avoid any harm coming to any customer.
And all that data you went through, is any of it encrypted in the way that you store it?
Well, again, because there's an ongoing investigation and we are working closely with the authorities, we're not at liberty to disclose details about the data, where it resides, how the attack happened.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand why you can't say if any of it's encrypted or not. For assurance of your customers and how you do this, you say all the procedures are followed. Surely you can answer whether or not any of that data, in particular passports and licence numbers, is that data encrypted?
There's multiple levels of protection that we have for various elements of our data. Encryption is one method. Accessing it via certain keys and identification numbers is another method. Firewalls, there's a whole range of protections. And I'm not at liberty to say exactly which ones are in place just because there's a criminal investigation and criminal proceedings underway.
So, well, legally no one's been charged. I'm just unsure why you can't say whether or not data's been encrypted or not.
Unfortunately, in addition to our customers who listen to all the information we're getting out there via the media, there are bad actors who also read the media. And so we're restricted in what we can say
if they hear
while
it's
we're working
encrypted,
with authorities
that
to
just
get
makes
to
you
the
harder
bottom
to
of it.
hack, doesn't it?
It's one of the ways in which data is protected, but not the only way. And there's multiple levels of protection that are in place for customer data.
Has Optus recently or ever done an audit of who can access this type of information?
Of course, we have done lots of audits. We have a very strong cyber capability. We have dedicated teams. We thwart thousands of attacks every year, every day. We understand our role as a critical infrastructure provider. We're devastated that on this occasion, one attack was successful. And of course, we're getting to the bottom of how that could occur.
When was the last audit done?
We do more than audits. We constantly test where our vulnerabilities are. We work with third parties to identify that. We have recently, through thwarting another incident, actually done a review of specific entry points and vulnerabilities. It's an ongoing process in this arms race that we have with sophisticated criminal actors out there who are constantly trying to access the data of all Australians. And we're very disappointed that we failed to thwart this attack.
The cyber expert we've spoken to said an audit of this type of information and who has access to it is vital, though. Can you tell us when the last audit was done?
In terms of an audit related specifically to this, it would have been done within the last 6 months. So it's, but we don't only do audits, we do a lot more than that, is what I'm trying to convey. We are a strong, very sophisticated organisation when it comes to protecting our customers' information, our networks, our services. The important information for all customers who are watching is that no financial information or passwords were compromised. And we are doing everything we can to sound the alarm broadly and to let customers be on high alert so we hopefully avoid any harm coming from this breach.
So on customers, have any of them actually been told, those directly affected, who has been affected and to what level they've been affected?
Yes, we are in the process of contacting our customers and letting them individually know exactly what pieces of information have been accessed about them. That is a process that will be going on over the coming number of days. We're not being very specific in the media about how we're doing that because we don't want to create the possibility of phishing incidents or bad actors getting in front of what we're doing. What we can say is that we will not be sending out any links in SMS messages or in email messages. Also, we would never call and ask you to connect to your computer and divulge your password. So if customers can be on the lookout for those sorts of things, they're likely to be scams.
Okay, well, that's good advice for any customers. So you might get a text or an email. There won't be any links. You won't get a call. Only call Optus yourself. We know it's a busy time for you. CEO of Optus, Kelly Bayer Rosmarin, thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having me.